Hey guys, Samia here, wedding and portrait photographer, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the wedding boom that's coming up after COVID. There's been a lot of talks that we're about to have a lot of weddings in 2022, and I just wanted to make a video as a photographer about all my thoughts and just a little chit chat about the ways I'm going to prepare. This YouTube video is actually inspired by this post that I saw on Instagram that basically says in 2022 we're going to have more weddings than we've had in a year since like the 1980s. So my first thought is that is great. We're gonna have, so many weddings, so many inquiries, blah blah blah, all that, like great. The first thing I want to mention though, as an entrepreneur and as a professional wedding photographer, is that in my experience, I think people don't talk about this enough, and it's that being busy is a glorified thing. I think I look busy on social media, and I am busy. But I'm not busy all the time, and I think that work-life balance is so important. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh, that's great. And then another part of me was like, oh, remember that your job is built to give you freedom to do the things you want to do in your life, and not the other way around. I think self-awareness is key, and I've always had in my mind that my goal is not to be booked every single weekend. My goal is to have freedom in my life and be booked on weekends that I want to commit to my couples and have good relationships with my couples. I'm not trying to book 200 weddings a year. I try to book about 17 right now, to really give me enough time to invest into each couple and just you get what I'm saying. Okay, but either way, if you are preparing for this, boom, and you're like, I want to get all these weddings on my calendar, here are some of the things that I think that we should all kind of do. So the first thing is that we need to perfect our onboarding process and our client conversion process. So whatever you are doing when a couple inquires about wedding photography with you, you need to have a set process for how you handle that. I have a freebie down below that's a wedding consultation cheat sheet that basically goes over everything I say to couples on a Zoom call. But basically, I think everyone should have a set process for how we're going to handle every single inquiry. The second thing I think we should focus on is outsourcing as many things as we can. I have other videos here on YouTube where I talk about all the things I outsource, but the big ones are I outsource all of my editing. I actually outsource culling and delivering photos now. I have an intern who comes and helps me once a week. And I outsource a lot of the kind of business processes by using Honeybook and the automated workflows in Honeybook. And I think the thing that people miss a lot with outsourcing is that you think you don't have enough clients to outsource, or you're not busy enough to where you need to outsource. And what I read in a business book once was that if you are not spending 90% of your time in your business doing the thing that only you can do, which is usually content creation in this wedding photography field, or like building your portfolio or perfecting your craft, things like that, if you're not spending 90% of your time doing that, then your business model could use some outsourcing. For example, if you're shooting a wedding and then you spent a day calling that wedding and a day editing that wedding, you could have spent 2 days going out and shooting more weddings, or going out and shooting more engagement sessions and practicing your shoots in order to get better at your craft to book more weddings, if that makes sense. Next thing I think we should do before we get super busy with weddings is to set up as many passive income channels as you can with the future wedding clients. So if you're not selling albums already, go ahead and get into selling albums. I use Millers to sell my albums. I have other videos on YouTube here about album design, things like Pixie Set, outsourcing those prints, anything you can get set up before we get more bookings, to just make as much profit on each wedding as you can. So let me know in the comments if you guys are ready for this wedding boom, what you think you're going to do to prepare for the wedding boom. Is it a myth? Do you think it's really going to happen? Are you going to up your prices, change your prices? I'm actually really curious to start this conversation, so please leave a comment down below if you have thoughts on anything that I said. And I make a new YouTube video here for photographers every single week, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next week.